Hey, welcome back to Don't Run with Scissors. I'm Kelly, your favorite Jeep driving lawyer, mom of twins, 4 crazy rescue dogs, and a rescue cat who likes to craft in her spare time. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It sends me a message. It boosts my serotonin and my self-esteem, and I could use both. And if you are a returning friend, you already know the crazy you're in for. So grab your drink, sit on back, and let's have at it. It is August 10th, and last week ended up my trial got adjourned, which I kind of had a feeling, so that left me with most of the week kind of catching up paperwork, catching up on sleep, not gonna lie, catching up on sleep, and taking care of some things. The endocrinologist I had originally called, they said, oh, we don't have any appointments until after the first of the year. I said, can you put me on the cancellation list? And they did. That appointment was less than I'd hoped for. And I was told to get a hip replacement that would end the steroid shot injection need in my hips. Never mind that the last time I had one was 16 months ago. I was told to eat more broccoli and other vegetables, and I can dip it in whatever I want, including, ice cream apparently. And that I had to take Manjaro despite what my GI doctor says. So we went back and forth, and I did end up taking the Manjaro shot Thursday night, and Friday I was violently ill. And it's been getting better, but we're still not great. So I don't know how this is going to go. I can hardly hold down any food. So, or liquids. And this is not the week to be sick, because I'm in Lansing tomorrow, as well as I have a Zoom call. Then I have a trial on Tuesday. I have a pretrial and mediation on Wednesday. I have a doctor's appointment with the GI people, and I have a forensics exam that I have to attend with my client on Thursday, and then mediation on Friday. Now, that said, fingers crossed, I may be gifted our Jeep Babes group is having a wellness empowerment weekend, and financially it just wasn't lining up with my finances, but 2 people have canceled and they're raffling off the spots, and so I may be one of the spots, and I am totally excited about that. So yeah, totally excited, and looking forward to it. So yeah, so that's where we're kind of at. So what's interesting is, just so we can keep up with the format here, I just broke my nail. So does that look funny going into court to just have my one finger broke and the rest of them all long? They are all getting too long, so so if you're new here too, I started a couple weeks ago doing the We Do Not Care Club Stitchers edition. So welcome to the chapter meeting of the We Do Not Care Stitchers Club edition. Stay tuned. We do not care if you have dog hair or cat hair or whatever other animal hair, or even your own hair stitched into your project. We consider that made with love. We do not care. We do not care if you save your orts in a cute little jar. We simply do not care. You do you. So yeah. We do not care if you stitch in a wooden hoop or a nurge or a Q-snap, or any other way. We simply do not care. There you go. Thank you for joining us for another episode of We Simply Do Not Care How You Stitch, as long as you're stitching. Okay, so in my stitchy group, there's been a lot of talk. Not a lot of talk. There's been some planning. And in planning some new starts, and you stay tuned because Kelly, and so Heidi, Heidi, what? Okay, I know Heidi watches my show. So Heidi, what is your YouTube? I never remember it, but Heidi is the YouTube stitcher who will like ding when you should look up and look at her project, which I think is bloody brilliant. And if I could figure out the technology, I would totally do it too. But on this show, we are technically challenged, technologically challenged. Sometimes words are hard too. So Heidi's birthday is September 11th. And she's been contemplating and going back and forth on what she wants to do for herself. She has finally decided she is doing Museum Shelf by Amy Stewart, that is charted by Haid. I think I have this pattern. However, I'm not ready to start it. There we go. I'm not ready to start it. That said, I have already started, I think, by 42 stitches, if you can count that as a start. I don't technically count 42 stitches as a start, but technically it is, on Dog Library of Dogs by Amy Stewart. So I'm going to work on that for Heidi's birthday. I'm totally, because she was debating between doing that or a Hawkron Hollow, and I was like, I'm not into. Look, I can appreciate a Hawkron Hollow, and they're gorgeous, and I love seeing them. So far, I'm not drawn to having to stitch one. Okay. So on September 11th, I'm going to work on Library of Dogs, and who knows how long I will continue to work on that. I also am seriously considering FFOing a couple of my full coverages that I just am not as drawn to work on as I thought I would be, and they're sitting there lingering, and I don't know. We'll see how I feel at the end of the year. But anyways, this got me started down a rabbit hole. As we all know, it happens with me. Welcome to my show where Kelly has ADHD and likes to do all the things. And never has clean dishes. It has her sink empty. Sorry. And now my sink is stopped up. And so I may actually have to call a plumber out. Yeah. Anyways, back to what I was talking about. So my birthday is October 23rd. So still a jump away. And I turned 54. And I don't generally do birthday sales. Like, I don't generally have one. But then I got into thinking, like, okay, so I watch Erin, the 2 Martini Stitcher, and God bless her, she's starting like 100 things for her 50th birthday. No. It causes me anxiety just thinking about all of that. And not all of them are small projects. Like, it's not like she's making 100 ornaments. She's like got some big ass projects going on. So no, we're not going to do that. But what I have decided is that I have enough projects. I have quilting projects. I have sewing projects. I have knitting. I have crochet. I have a diamond painting project. I got 2, and then I got one that goes after that even. I've got my pedal car that Bella and I just really and truly, we just need to touch up the paint the wheels, and then put them back together. Like, really and truly, like a weekend's worth of work for him, and he could be back together, and ready to display at my office. I have t-shirts that I've been meaning to print for a friend of mine that literally could be done in about an hour. really and truly, in about an hour. I have all kinds of. Kelly has ADHD, and it is in an effort to clean out my house of about 80%, which we're still going strong. We have not made huge room clean outs right now, but we're still going through like doom boxes. The ADHD infamous doom box. I have them. I had them all over my house. So we've been cleaning out and clearing out and things like that. So little by little, and little by little adds up big time. And it's keeping that ball rolling. And so anyways, I have decided that this year, starting in October, because I celebrate my birthday all month long. And if you're a friend of mine on Facebook, you get at least 23 days, usually the whole month's worth of interesting facts about Kelly. Some of them are repeated year after year because I'm consistent. Some of them are new because I'm always learning about myself. You just never know. But you get a month-long history of Kelly, of things I like and don't like, are posted daily. And most of my friends, I think it's fun. Nobody's ever said this is ridiculous. I'm sure on my Facebook there's at least one a-hole who thinks it's ridiculous, and I can name him. We went to high school together. Enough said. Okay. So anyways, I need more tumblers like this. This is the only kind of tumbler I drink water out of. It's a fake Yeti. And for some reason it has to be blue. I don't have any other color, but I have two of the blue ones. But this is what I drink my water out of. And any other cup, not so much. Anyways, again, I digress, squirrel. So my goal this year, starting in October, y'all, Kim, sit down. Sit down because you're going to have a heart attack. Although I think I may have told you already. My goal is to finish 54 things in the year. So by the time I turn 55. Is this doable? I don't know. I think yes, overall it is. Because I have a lot of things that are very close to being finished. A lot of things that wouldn't take me very long to finish if I just concentrated on them and focused a little bit. Like the t-shirts, that's 2 finishes right there if I get them printed, and it wouldn't take me very long. I have a couple quilts that are already layered and have been sitting there for months that wouldn't take me that long to quilt and bind. I have a whole bucket under my bed, like one of those Rubbermaid totes that you slide under the bed, full of quilt tops that just need to be finished. I have a pair of pants, like I have the fabric and the pattern and the elastic and everything in a bucket, ready to sew for Bean. I have shirts for both kids, I think. I have the fabric to make William a really cool backpack with Toad from Mario Brothers. And I have all of the zipper pulls and everything that match. Likewise, I have fabric to make Bella a really cool Totoro. Is that how you say his name? Bag as well. So those are things that, like, literally, if I just sat down in a weekend, I could knock them out. I am also going to include home improvement projects. So painting the kitchen one weekend would count as a project done. Those kinds of things. So that is my goal. And I would love, and I'm giving you guys a heads up, and we'll keep planning, because I'm a planner. I would love for more people to join in. Like, what projects have been lingering that you just want to knock out in this next year? So that's going to be my birthday start. Start? Is it really a start if we're just finishing projects? I don't know. Anyways. Okay, so I have a finish. Let's start there. I have a finish. I finish. Is it FFO'd? No. No. And if I wait till October to finish it, then it counts as my first finish, right? Because if I finish a stitch, that's a point. So I got to collect 55 points, right? So if I finish a stitch, it's a point. If I FFO something, that's a point too. And I got a whole bucket of finishes, finished stitching things that I could FFO too. So I could spend a weekend and FFO a bunch of stuff too. Okay, so anyways, this is Autumn Sheep by Bent Creek. There we go. He is done. So I did pull the next sheep to work on. It is Halloween sheep. I typically try to work on the sheep on Fridays for What the Flock Fridays that Kim the Snitch Stitcher stitches. Do I always remember on Friday? No, I don't. Is that okay? Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. Okay. So then the other thing I went to start this weekend, because Kim and I had discussed it, and I had won it off of her show, and she sent me the glorious flat flosses, and she sent me the lovely pattern, and we were going to start it on Saturday, because yesterday was the last full moon of summer. And I started on my fabric, and I had decided I was going to use part of the fabric from my menorah stitch that I'm doing. And it is a beautiful, I don't know who it's by. Wait a second. Yes, I do. It's a Be Stitch Me in the color Aquarius. It's a 28 count linen, opal linen. And I'm doing my menorah from Satsuma Street on it. But I know that I have enough fabric, so I was like, okay, I'll just start the little moon down here in the corner, right? Okay, I hate it. I hate working on this fabric. I don't know if I just need more lighting, because I didn't mind it so much working on my menorah. I was actually getting in a really good groove with it, but for some reason this weekend it was not hitting me right. So, for those of you who would like to stitch the Twilight Moon with Kim and I, we're going to start it on September 9th, which is the first full moon of autumn, and it's also corn moon. Who knew? Who knew? Well, now you do. So I need to track down some fabric for that. Kim got the called for, and she said it's witched twilight blue linen. But she said and she showed me, it's really, really stiff and really paper thin, and I don't want that. So I am hoping, not this week, but next week, I actually have a trial up in Bay City. She generally doesn't have a huge selection of great fabrics, unless you want solids, like solid white, solid red. Then she's got a good selection, but I don't know. So I may have to, I don't know. I may dye something. I don't know. But I've got till a little bit. I'll figure it out this week. Okay, so I did start that, but we're going to FFO that, and we're going to try again on September 9th. Don't forget, on September 11th, we're also going to start 13 folds. And I need to track down. I set my floss somewhere. My Cosmo floss. I think I gave it to Bean to organize, and I don't know where she organized it to. So, that said, okay. So, okay. So August, I am doing the abandoned sal. So you're supposed to pick up a sal that you abandoned. Not that you didn't love it, but just you set it aside and just forgot about it, kind of thing, right? So originally I was going to work on this 3D gingerbread house, which really, I think that's another one that if I sat down for a good solid week, maybe 2, it's a lot of backstitching, and we all know how I feel about backstitching. It's not very big, though. I don't know. Anyways, I originally was going to pull that out, and I was like, Dude, I do not need to be fussing with back stitching right now. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not this week. So I pulled out There Is No Planet B by Clouds Factory. This has been a whip. I started it when it came out. It was the year I started everything style-wise and finished none of them. So I was at like 9% done, and it's just stitched on 14 count white Aida. Because back then, that's before I got into all the dyed fabrics and whatnot. So I got in Mr. Vulture. And then I've started on this thing. I have no idea what this is, but he's sparkly, as is my Vulture. My dog bells are ringing, forgive me. So we made some, I think I made I made like 5% progress on it. So that was good. There's hope. So we'll continue to try and work on that this month. So there's that. Oh, and don't forget, on the 26th of this month is the first day of my kids back to school. I don't know if William's going to make it. Anyways, so we'll start our alphabet. And I am starting the animal alphabet by Blue Flower. Do I have any business starting more stuff? Absolutely not. Am I going to do it anyways? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Okay, so I worked some more on Pandemic. We're now at 30%. Right? So that's super goodness. No, I did not work on this. Because I got really engrossed with my other stitch. And I believe I started it this, you would have seen it last week. Let me double check. Yes, I think you would have seen, well, you might not have seen it. I know I said I was going to start it. I did start it, and I am loving this stitch. Like, I don't want to put it down. This is the only thing I want to stitch on right now. And so we're just going to go with that. So this is stitched on a 25 count Lugana in the color Stormy Nights. I don't know who makes Stormy Nights Lugana. I got it off of the 123 stitch. But I will say that I love the weight of Lugana. It's a thicker material, and I'm really liking the way it feels in my hands. So, this is Moroccan Lantern by the Vivsters. And I have loved this since I first saw it. And then Kim and some of the other girls in the group started stitching it, and I fell even more in love with it. I was like, okay. So Julie and I started this the other day, and I've stitched on it now about 6 days. And the first joke was, first of all, I think last time when you saw it, I was the lowest stitched in. I don't think that's the case anymore. In fact, I know it's not the case anymore. Then the joke was on Kim's show, she said that she's at like 30%, right? And she's like, knowing Kelly, I do. I like the challenge of pushing to win. And it's a totally psychologically, it's a me issue. But I like that pushing not to be like the last stitcher done with something now, which is funny because I finished nothing. Like I finished none of those sales from that year, but now we're competitive stitching. And it's funny because my shirt I got from she's the one who does all the cross stitch shirts. She did one that did it was a competitive cross stitcher, and I bought it, but the decal is where it's like falling off, so you really can't wear it right now. But I really am the competitive cross stitcher. I should change my name to that instead of Don't Run with Scissors. But anyways, I am now at I don't know. Probably because my tablet's dead. I know I'm over 10%. My tablet's got to restart. But I'm just focusing on the 310, obviously. But that is the bottom. That is all the way to the bottom. So yay, Kelly, planned enough for the bottom, because we all know I'm challenged in that way. So now I'm trying to stitch up to the top, because Kelly also has a problem with centering things. So I'm a little nervous. But I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to be okay. Oh, I still love it. And I do need to clip a couple of threads. Let me really fast do that before I show you so you can... Okay, we all know that in general my backs look like dog poo, right? It is very rarely that Kelly has a back that is worth showing. And I'm okay with that. Look, if you're not going to see it on the front, I'm going to travel my thread on the back. If you're not going to, like, leave my backs alone. You shouldn't be looking at the back of my projects unless we're like really good friends, right? But let me just take a second to show you. That's a pretty darn, okay, that is a meticulous back for me. Meticulous. If you know, you know. Let's see. We'll see. I'm now at 12.23%. I have a long way to go if I'm going to catch Kim at 30%. And I'm sure she's going to keep working on it. So, just going to continue to get further and further behind her, I guess. So my goal, I don't have a goal with it. I'm just going to go with it. Right now I'm enjoying the stitch, and that is what I'm working on, and I'm not going to worry about anything else. I do have my whip goal. The one I've completed. The other one I'm still actually working on one from last month. I did put in some stitches on Jack o' Lantern, not enough to really where I say it's met the goal. And then I need to work on Jeep Van Gogh is my other goal that I've been given. So that's where we're at. So you may see Jeep Van Gogh next week. Should be good. So with that, that's all I got. I mean, oh, hold that thought. Okay, before I forget, I did giveaways last week. And the first one was for the cookbook, and that goes to Stitching Down the Rabbit Hole. I don't know what your real name is offhand. So if you could get a hold of me maybe on Instagram. I'm his Princess Kelly. I'll put that in the drop down box. I can pop that in the mail this week to you. the next one was for the barber shop, and that goes to Tina Fraser. So congratulations, Tina. Again, let me know your email, not your email, your address, and I will pop that in the mail to you. And then the service shop or service station went to Melissa Barker. So Melissa, send me your email or send me your real address, and I'll get this in the mail to you guys. That said, ran across another one that I can give away now. It's Little House Needleworks. Schoolgirl Lessons. So if you would like this, use the word lesson. And tell me what lesson you have learned from watching me. Other than that, maybe I'm crazy. Probably don't use that. I will mail it anywhere. It's little enough it can go in an envelope, in a invitation probably size envelope. I don't have the bag with it. I didn't get it with the bag, so you don't get a bag. Sorry. That's how we roll here. Please be over 18 so I'm not creepy asking for your address. I don't need to look creepy. Don't use the word prize, giveaway. You know, all the things that bring the trolls to my station. Listen, I don't have that many subscribers, so we can keep the trolls away from it, okay? Bring new people, but not trolls, okay? We don't need a troll. Let's see, what else? All the things. And then we'll draw for that next week. Again, I'm clearing out, giving away, getting rid of. Yeah. So that's where we're at. So with that, I'm gonna let you go. So I can keep stitching on Moroccan lanterns. Oh, the other thing I'm watching, I just started watching it on Hulu, is the DNA Dough Project, which I feel like Bobby from Pumpkin Creek Primitives would love this show. Bobby, are you watching this? I am fascinated. They're like solving who these poor Jane and John Does are that have been like left for years, some of them decades, and they don't know who these victims are. And they're using DNA that they're able to recover from like bones and things like that to find these people or find their families so that they can finally lay them to rest properly. I'm absolutely engrossed. So I'm watching that, trying to drink more water. And every time I have coffee or tea, I put protein powder in it. So I'm trying with this whole Manjaro thing to drink more to make sure I'm still getting in protein. So yeah, if you have Hulu, I totally say watch it. Because I binge watched all of Suits, and I've been kind of like muddling through, not really liking anything, and I'm like, nah. Okay, I've now watched 3 episodes, and I cannot not watch it. Because I want these people to find their family, like the families to have closure. So, say some prayers, say some fingers crossed, you know, all of that kind of thing. Send the good juju my way for the firm this week. If people start paying their bills again. Noel's getting ugly with people. Not ugly, I shouldn't say that. Noel's getting on people that they need to start paying their bills. I caught up the billing on one person already. I'm only behind on now 4 more clients. So my goal is to tick off 1 or 2 this week, at least. So yeah. So with that, remember, you are smart. And you are beautiful. You are strong. And you are loved. You are needed. And you are wanted. And mostly, you matter. So with that, feel free to reach out to me at His Princess Kelly. I will talk to you guys next week. Bye, y'all.